I'm just a girl standing in front of my wardrobe, and I say, if life gives you sunshine and raindrops, then wear rainbows. So I have got my rainbow top. Now this is one that I love the fabric, but I'm not so sure about the top. So this is one that I made. It's the Tilly and the Buttons COCO top without the kind of funnely neck thing on. I did the side splits because the idea was that it kind of flares off, but I'm just not sure about the fit. It fits me more kind of in a bodysuit kind of way, but not in a bodysuit kind of way. And yeah, I'm not sure. So I thought, right, I'm going to wear it today. I'm going to see how it makes me feel. I love the colours. I've put it on with my starry necklace. It's Friday, so why not, you know? And I'm wearing them with my Merchant & Mills Heroin jeans. So these are a lovely mum fit jeans pattern. They fit me really nicely but loosely, and that's exactly what I wanted. A nice kind of loosey-goosey comfortable pair of jeans. And the reason that I put these on today there's lots of reasons. I've got lots of decisions to make. So it's decisions day today. So there's a reason for everything. The reason that I put these on today is that I am deciding whether I've got 3 really nice denims or denim type fabrics that I want to make into trousers, and I'm deciding whether I need another pair of these to make the trousers in one of them, or to just make something completely different, or to go back to the Faulkner pants, because I made those in shorts and I like them, but I never got to the trouser stage. I don't know. So I was right, I'm going to wear these because I really like these, and I think these are the decisions. I think I need to make another pair of these in a different colour because these are a bit light. I only really wear them in the summer. And yeah, so I'll see you in a bit. Get ready to Fling It Friday. Lovely ones. Oh, it's been a very busy day of sorting and organising and admining and all sorts of other things, but I've just decided to sit down for a cup of tea and to talk to you all things Fling It Friday again. So I think one of the things that every day in May is teaching me is that my wardrobe, all of our wardrobes, not just me. This is the other thing that I'm learning, that it's not just a thing that affects me, is that our wardrobes are supposed to evolve. That's the whole point. They are supposed to evolve. We evolve, we change, our lifestyles change, our age changes, the things that we're doing in our life changes, our bodies might change, you know, just things change, and they're supposed to evolve, and that's okay. It is perfectly okay. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. And I think for a long time, because I've always been the kind of person that, you know, looks after things and keeps things for a long time, you know, I've got coats in my upstairs wardrobe that I wore when I was 19. I'm now 51. I've been there a long time. I don't really tend to, you know, just kind of throw things away willy-nilly. And I think that when I was going through the decluttering process and the kind of process of sorting my wardrobe, I was thinking of things of like throwing it away, and then I had the guilt that was attached to it. As sewists, we invest so much of our time, creativity and emotion into the things that we make that it can sometimes feel difficult to let certain garments go, even when they no longer fit or they don't fit our bodies, our lives, our style, or even the way we actually dress. But the other thing that I've learned is that I also don't think that keeping everything forever out of guilt is particularly healthy either. You know, I think it was one of the lovely vloggers that I watch, Kaz from Clutterbug, was talking about kind of people saying about decluttering, or, you know, it's bad for the environment, you're putting things in landfill. Well, I don't want my house to be landfill. You know, I've had something, I've loved something, it's run its course, it's fulfilled its destiny. It's time it moved on. It needs to go to a different home, even if it is now retired and it's got to go in the bin. Oh, controversial, I know. You know, yeah. I don't want my wardrobe, my home, you know, any part of my life to become a storage place for every version of me that I've ever sewn. So yeah, so this week I have done the practical bits, you know. So last week we talked about things that I'd made for all sorts of different reasons. You know, I'd kind of made things because, you know, the Tilly and the Buttons new pattern came out and everyone was making it and I felt guilt, so I made it, and or, you know, FOMO or whatever. This week what I've been doing is I've been doing the practical kind of fling-its, if you like, the practical fling-its. So when I was putting some washing away, as you do, I opened my underwear drawer and realised that there was a lot of things in my underwear drawer that wasn't actually underwear and shouldn't have been in that drawer. So I took it out. I took everything out of it. I replaced the little lavender bags. I have these little scented bags that I make to put in my drawers so everything smells nice. I thought, oh, that's a nice little sewing project. I'll make some of those. Made some of those, popped them in, and then I was about to just pick everything up, like as in everything that needed to go back in the drawer, and I thought, no, this is a good opportunity. Do I need this? And I was surprised by how many, you know, bras and things that I had in my drawers that I literally have to move them away to get the one that I want. And I moved them out of the way because I know I'm not going to wear that because it's too tight or it's uncomfortable, or one of the straps has come off, you know, and it's like, why is this in my drawer then? Why is it in my drawer if I don't put it on my body? So I was ruthless. I was absolutely ruthless. And I went through it all. And I popped it all in a bag. The things that could be reused, I have reused. So I've taken all of the fastenings off some of the underwear so I can use for my saltwater dresses and other things like that. I've actually taken some elastic off some things that I think will be useful. I did have some bras that were good bras, but they just don't fit my body anymore. And so I have found a place that will take them. And then everything else just went in a bag and it's gone to the fabric recycling centre. And boy, did that feel good. That felt really good, because now I've got a very manageable drawer, my underwear drawer. It smells nice. And I look in it and I can literally just go up. And I've got something I can put on my body. So I've actually saved myself time and energy by just flinging a few things. So yeah. So some clothes are seasonal. Some are learning experiences. And some are exactly right for a particular moment in life. So all of those things are great. And if something was a learning experience, but now I no longer wear it, it's okay to get rid of it because it's done its job. And that brings me on to the seasonal ones. So the other thing, practical fling-its, that I've done this week is, and I think you might have seen me I sorted my jumpers because I love a jumper, I love a sweatshirt. I live in the UK. We tend to have to wear jumpers most of the year round. But again, in my drawers, I have 2 fairly sizable drawers, and that's the only kind of everyday space that I have in my house for jumpers and sweatshirts and stuff that I can keep on rotation. So when it comes, I do have to kind of take some things out and put them away and get something back out again. I'm not really much of I do try and wear all of my clothes all of the time, but there are some things that are very, very seasonal. So again, I was starting to wear more of my lighter sweaters. So I got a lot of my heavier sweaters out and replaced some lighter sweaters that I had under my bed, because that's where I keep all of my vacuum bags. Is that what you call them? You know, the bags that you suck the air out of. Yeah, vacuum bags. I just feel like a vacuum bag should be something that you put in your vacuum, but of course it's not. It's what you do to the bags to get the air out. Menopausal woman, I forget words all the time. So yeah, and so I sorted those, and again, it just brought me great joy in doing the sorting. One of the things that I decided to do as a consequence of doing that sorting is that I did have quite a few ready to wear sweatshirts, hoodies and things that I've just had for years and years and years, and I've replaced them now with me-made ones, or I have plans to replace them with me-made ones, and I just don't need them all in my life, so I pop them in a bag. I've popped half in a bag that I'm going to keep hold of for a bit, and if I don't grab them, then I will get rid of them. And I put the other half in a bag that's going to go to the Esther project with the other things that I sorted last week. Boy, do you know what? It feels really good. So this week's Fling It Friday was a little bit less about throwing things away and a little more about creating space. And there is the creating the physical space that I've done. So obviously now my underwear drawer is nice and spacious, and I'm looking forward to sort of sewing some more knickers with all of the jersey scraps that I've got, because then that will free up space. That will free up space in my jersey scraps box to then put, you know, fresh underwear in my drawer, knowing that those are the ones that I'm going to want to pick every day and feel happy about doing. And kind of freeing up that space rather than being emotionally trapped by stuff. And that might sound like, you know, a bit of a big statement, but actually I've realized that with doing like this kind of sorting out, that sustainability is about appreciating and actively using the things that you own rather than being emotionally trapped by those things. You know, there's nothing sustainable about keeping something in your house that doesn't do anything for you or anyone in it. You know, that's not a sustainable thing. Just because you're holding on to it because you don't want to put it into that's not sustainable either. So yeah, I think this is going to be quite an interesting conversation. And as always, I do love it when you pop bits in the chat. It's always nice, and feel free to chat amongst yourselves. I have had some lovely responses to my Everyday in May vlogs, but as you know, they're every day, so I am sometimes finding it a bit of a challenge. I read every comment, I heart every comment, and but I do find it sometimes difficult to reply to each and every one of you. But know that you are loved and you are appreciated, and I will do my best to get back to as many of you as possible. So yeah, So now I'm feeling that I've got space. I've got space in my life. I've got space in my wardrobe. I've got space in my drawers. I've got space for summer. I've got space for clothes that I really love wearing. And maybe I've got a bit of space for the next version of my wardrobe, you know, because I do love sewing. So don't forget to come and join me tomorrow for another episode of Everyday in May. Tomorrow is Saturday and it's Eurovision Day, which is always quite a fun day in the Sparkly household. And we're actually going out tomorrow, which, yeah, that doesn't happen very often. So I will bring you along with me. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Keep it sparkly. Don't forget to sparkle, folks. And I'll see you really soon. Bye for now.